Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The story begins with a superhero named the Miracle Boy. He sees his friend, a general in the army named Techno, wearing a jet suit. Techno gives the Miracle Boy a device to install on a satellite. When he goes to install it, he finds the solar panels broken and notices a spaceship. He reports to his friend that he saw a spaceship, but moments later, a group of spaceships confronts him, overpowering him and causing him to lose consciousness and fall from space. As he descends rapidly, his friend tries to save him, but the jet suit's battery runs out. He attempts to contact the superheroes on Earth, saying he needs help. Meanwhile, we transition to a scene with a girl named Missy, who wakes up, stands in front of the mirror, and chooses her clothes. She goes downstairs to her father, Marcus, who is preparing breakfast and watching the news, which is all about the Miracle Girl. Distracted by the news, he accidentally pours the egg yolk into the pan and the whites into the sink. Missy tells him to focus on where he's putting the eggs. After breakfast, Missy asks her father what's happening, and he tells her not to worry as it's just a training. He takes her to school, and Marcus heads to work at the superhero organization. The director arrives to see if there are any superheroes. Marcus tells her they are just a reconnaissance team, but the director decides to summon all the heroes to prepare. When Marcus stands up, the director tells him he must come with them because they need support. He says he's retired, but she insists, saying it's an order. We see Missy trying to climb a tree to retrieve a ball but can't, so she comes down. However, when the ball falls, her friends take it and run away. At this moment, an agent from the superhero organization arrives and decides to take Missy with them. Missy notices a large number of planes leaving the platform. When they arrive, the director tells her she will stay with the children of superheroes and that she must remain there until the war is over. Missy is reluctant because her father promised to return to her. They take her to a secure room, and when the door opens, she sees many children and joins them. As soon as the door closes, someone listens for the director's footsteps and tells them she's gone. All the children use their powers and play freely, but Missy is not interested. Suddenly, a water plane flies by, controlled by a girl sitting next to her. A boy introduces himself as Wheels, saying it's just a nickname because he's not in a wheelchair due to being disabled, but because his legs are very strong. Another boy named Noodles can stretch, and Wheels shows her a girl named Oho, who has amazing drawing abilities. Missy sees some of Oho's drawings but doesn't understand them. A girl named Echo arrives with a special ability to sing in very high or very low tones, even in frequencies humans can't hear. The director speaks to Echo through a microphone, telling her to stop singing in that pitch because dogs in the area are gathering outside the organization. Echo starts singing in a low tone, causing chairs to fly. Wheels takes Missy to meet the other children, including the son of Flash, who moves so fast he enters a time zone that slows him down. They meet a boy who can change his facial expressions at will, but Noodles gets annoyed by his movements. He enlarges his hand and breaks a table, but one of the children can rewind time by a few seconds, replacing the table with a big ball. They also meet a girl who can fast-forward time by a few seconds, the twin of the boy who rewinds time. Wheels introduces Missy to their leader, Wild, who has all the superpowers combined but doesn't know how to use any of them yet. When he tries to move a book, he accidentally burns it. Copy sends water in the form of a fire truck, being the last of the superhero children. Copy tells them her mother is Lady Lava, and her father is Sharkman, and she needs to drink a lot of water to use her power. Wild asks Missy about her abilities, and she says she doesn't have any. She suggests they watch the news for updates on their families, and Wheels turns on the TV. They see each superhero entering in their own way, like Shark Boy emerging from water and Lady Lava from a volcano. Flash enters with his speed, and the destroyer demolishes an entire building. The heroes gather to fight the alien invaders, but unfortunately, Shark Boy is the first to be captured, followed by all the heroes except Missy's father, who is overpowered by the creatures. He draws his swords and fights them, but is easily captured by the aliens. The broadcast cuts off, and moments later, the news anchor announces that the president will make a statement with the latest updates. The president reveals they received a message from the aliens, who decided to invade after their planet was destroyed, and they plan to begin their invasion in 3 hours. The director appears on TV, urging everyone to stay put as they are safe. Missy insists they must escape quickly because the aliens know their location. Wild disagrees, saying she has no superpower to predict the future and questions her desire to flee without evidence of the aliens' arrival. Missy takes Oho's iPad, showing them drawings, explaining that Oho's power isn't drawing, but seeing 5 minutes into the future. She shows them a drawing of aliens entering through the ventilation shafts, convincing all the super children to escape. As they open the door, the son of the destroyer makes mischievous faces at the guard. Indeed, he manages to provoke the guards and enters the room. with the guards following him. When they enter, they see the children lined up. Messi begins to explain to them the danger of the aliens, but they don't believe her, so they bring a pillow and place it in front of the guards. Then, Copy steps forward and starts hitting them. Noodles comes and helps her, taking their cards. Meanwhile, one of the guards goes and presses the alarm button, locking the door with an iron cell. Messi tells the twins they will turn back time to prevent the guard from pressing the alarm button. Suddenly, the aliens enter through the ventilation shaft, and Messi tells the twins to turn back time. They succeed in stopping the guard and tying them up, allowing them to escape. The aliens enter, but the super children manage to flee. As they escape, Misa accidentally hits the director, who realizes their escape and orders all guards to close the building's entrances and exits. When they are locked, the guards confront them from the other side. They realize there is no way to escape, but Wild points to an opening in the ceiling. Copy flies the guards to create a staircase, allowing them to climb over the guards and escape. They leave and get into the car that will take them out of the building, which opens with the cards they stole from the guards. However, the guards are waiting outside. Once again, Copy flies the car over the guards. They almost crash into the building in front of them, but Noodles breaks the window, stretches, and holds the car with one hand and the pole with the other, trying to change the direction until he succeeds. The car continues in a different direction until it lands in Misa's grandmother's garden, whose name is Anita. Everyone knows her because she is a famous hero trainer. When she sees them, she lets them into the house. Returning to the director, she discovers their location because of the bracelet on Misa's hand. Grandma Anita takes them to a training place and begins to train them in combat and self-defense moves. Everyone succeeds in training, but Misa is upset with the team, just like her father, because the superheroes argued among themselves, and Misa's father doesn't know how to handle it. Suddenly, the camera enters, stopping the fight, and everyone stands quickly. The president tells them their children have disappeared. Meanwhile, Anita encourages Misa, telling her that her mother was an ordinary person without power or ability. But despite all this, she was a hero. Suddenly, the organization's planes find their location. Grandma quickly intervenes and takes the children into the tunnel. As soon as they enter, the aliens come and kidnap Anita. The children continue walking in the tunnel, talking about their family's mistakes in the war. When they reach the tunnel's exit, Misa plans with Wild, and they see his drawing iPad with a spaceship drawn on it. They see it and run towards it. When they reach it, everyone gets into the spaceship except for someone running slowly, known as Slow. They encourage him to run faster and get into the spaceship. The children decide to hold on to Noodles, who stretches his hand and pulls Slow into the spaceship. The spaceship then takes off and heads toward the main mothership. When they reach the main ship, Noodles sticks his head out of the ship to see if anyone is in the hallway but finds no one. They descend from the ship and see the massive spaceship, continuing to walk to find their families. However, they can't find them due to the ship's size. Wheels tells Misa that the agency found them easily because of the bracelet on her hand. He tells them they need a heat source to find their families through this bracelet. The father helps them and makes a heat device. Wheels takes the device and adjusts some things in it, succeeding in following the indicators. Suddenly, they all stop because of Copy, who tells them something is moving inside. After a few minutes, the ground opens due to the aliens' hands, and they all start running to the room. Before they enter, an alien hand emerges from the ground, obstructing their path. They reach a small balcony and see the president talking to someone. They discover that the president has a plan to invade Earth and learn there is a big pyramid with aliens. An hour later, they are sent to Earth. Suddenly, the organization director enters behind them, scolding them for their escape and wrong behavior but smiling and telling them they are in the right place because they led them to the mothership. Misa asks if they will be punished, and the director assures them they won't be punished. Everyone is happy except for Wheels, who tells her that her indicators are unnatural. Here, Oho sees Misa's iPad and tells her that the director is one of the aliens. Suddenly, the president enters and tells the director that the children know everything. They decide to take them to prison. Before they enter, they pull the water tube from Copy so she can't use her powers. They separate the twins because their powers increase when united. The director shows them the room key and tells them they will never get out. Misa has no solution to think about. Returning to Marcus, he provokes the miraculous girl, who gets angry and goes to hit the door until it opens. The aliens bring someone covered, and Flash tries to remove the cover, but the creature hits him. The Shark Boy attacks and starts hitting this person. Suddenly, the cover is removed, and the grandmother appears. Meanwhile, Copy tries to open the door, but without water, she can't do anything. Misa begins to plan and tells them they will never get out of here, winking at Wheels to understand the plan. Wheels understands the plan and tells them they will never return home. Wild sees their behavior and gets angry, but Misa winks at him, making him understand she wants to convey the plan. Wild joins them and continues to provoke them. Suddenly, everyone starts crying. and Misa and her team collect these tears and give them to Copy. Copy uses the tears to make a key. We then learn about a person named Kroner, who manages to activate the surveillance cameras. When the surveillance cameras start working, they see their children leaving the room. Now Messi's plan is to get Wheels to the pyramid to disable it and prevent an attack on Earth. However, Nawild has another opinion. He takes the person who changes his facial features and tells Messi, "I will not follow your plan and I will go search for my family in my own way." After they leave, they continue searching for the person who changes his features. Nawild gets angry with her and they keep arguing. Meanwhile, the manager watches them and decides to catch Nawild at the right time. At this moment, Messi and her team approach the pyramid, but suddenly they are surrounded by alien guards from all sides. They keep fighting them until Copy intervenes and defeats most of them. However, they rise again for the second time, this time in an alien hands, and they throw restraints on them. But the twins unite and turn back time. Noodles takes the restraints and ties up the guards. The alien takes out the key, and the twins turn back time again and take the key from them. Meanwhile, the children's families see them and are proud of them. As for Nawild, he is alone and starts trying to use his ability, but he can't. Then the manager comes, locks him up, and puts him in the confession room, asking him about their main plan, which Messi is following. But he mocks her and laughs at her, telling her to come closer. When she does, he says, "My ability succeeded." Meanwhile, the children finally reach the pyramid, and it's just minutes before takeoff. Suddenly, a shield protects the pyramid, and Oho tells them they are failures. She grants them access to the pyramid, but Messi and her team discover that Oho is an alien spy. We find out that the person who changed his appearance took the form of Nawild, and that the manager locked up the person who changed his appearance. The real Nawild is in the control room and has raised the shield from the pyramid. At this point, Oho draws alien creatures, and they become reality and emerge, starting to attack the team. The whole team prepares to fight them, except for Wheels, who tries to stop the pyramid as only 2 minutes remain. Indeed, they manage to work together and overcome the alien creatures. Meanwhile, the manager reaches Nawild and discovers that he has managed to control his abilities, flying and changing his shape. He also has lightning and freezing powers and uses all these powers against them. Copy manages to create a ninja, and Noodles extends himself and holds down 2 of the monsters. Wheels tells Copy that the pyramid is made of liquid material, so she goes and makes a shark out of it, defeating the monsters. However, Oho manages to create more monsters, and Messi asks Noodles to extend his hand. When he does, she goes and stands on it, luring the monsters from both sides until they climb onto Noodles' hand. Messi tells him to pull his hand back, and when he does, they all fall into the pit. But he manages to catch her and save her. At this moment, Wheels comes and gives them a chip, telling them they need to place it in the pyramid to prevent it from taking over the Earth. But Oho throws the chip into the pit, and Noodles tries to retrieve it but can't reach it. Then one of the children decides to sacrifice himself to get the chip. Nawild manages to disguise himself and goes down to get the child and retrieve the chip. Indeed, they manage to help with the chip, and Noodles takes it to disable the pyramid. Just 1 second before time runs out, they succeed in destroying the pyramid before it takes over the Earth. Afterward, they bring their families out of the pyramid, and children go to their parents, hugging them. Their parents are proud of them because they managed to save the Earth. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an updates. See you in the next video.